anyways, but I had realized like I've really opened the sailor in me, I guess you could say. I've been so prim and proper in some of my posts and verbiage with people because I was a teacher for so long, and I still have a lot of parents, but now they know I'm like drop the F-bomb left and right. They're okay with this. They don't teach their kids anymore. So lately, a lot of my posts, for some reason, have been getting people to come back to me and being like, oh my gosh, you're real, you know? So showing, I think, your vulnerability and showing yourself is really key without all the dirty laundry. I'm not going to go into like show everything, obviously, but it's really been a shift, I think, with myself. And I just now need to beef it up on my mind shift posts because I feel like people know the personal side of me because I don't hold things back at all. So I really would love to learn how to mesh them together. But anyways, it's really gotten some great connections that I didn't know were watching. So hopefully I can bring them over to their side. Not just my, you know, cellular stuff, not just Isogenics, and bring them into the mind shift stuff. So that's it.
That's great.
I survived my mama. 42 years old and nothing like having your mom up your junk.
I miss you, Stacey.
Oh my God.
And we can talk about that too, because that's something that I've been actively trying to do more of. I'm a very private person. Most of you, I'm sure, know that, or have figured that out. I'm not an oversharer. But in social media world, I've been trying to share more of that because I think that's how you're going to, for me, that showing that authentic piece and showing a little bit more of that vulnerability makes you more human. You know, and being able to share pieces of your life, you know, not everything, like nobody needs to know all the gory details. I mean, Kelly's heard some crazy things that happen on calls with my son in the background, just her and I, but you know, that stuff doesn't necessarily need to go into social media. But I think from the perspective of sharing, kind of like peeling back the layers of the onion, if you will, really will help you differentiate yourself in a space that's super noisy, because that vulnerability, people feel connected to you.
Yeah. And I think it's all about thinking about what your audience wants to know about, right? What you know, when you dive into your kick-ass client and you know what movies she likes, what drives her, what keeps her up at night, like things like that. And if you have stories that are relatable, they're going to be attracted, right? So it's all about kind of attraction marketing, right? I hate that term, but essentially, because all marketing is really attraction, but that's essentially what that is, right? You don't want to be kind of vomiting all your drama, right? Because that's just for yourself, right? That's just, you know, or you know, you'll see people that are, you know, very passive aggressive or what. It's whatever is going to attract the people that you want to work with, right? It's like, you know, Jamie's posts are a great example, right? And a lot of her posts are relatable to the busy mom, right? And you know, to the female entrepreneur who's trying to kind of, you know, balance everything. And so I think it becomes very relatable, right? Where it's not just kind of, you know, here's all business and tips. It's okay. I connect with her. So I think there's a way to do it. So, and Stacey, you did it really well.
Oh, thank you. That's good to know that. But thank you. I appreciate that. Because I feel like I have two different markets, and maybe if there's anyone else who feels that way, like I love to reach and help the moms or the women who are kind of in that tunnel. Like my whole thing is, you know, I let that be up myself. That's my real big, like, saying about my light at the end of the tunnel. And so I try to so if anyone's on my stuff and can ever say if I'm speaking to that, let me know. I'd love feedback. I go for the person who wants that help, and then I help them light that, you know, spark that fire and light the end of the tunnel. And then there's the people who have already gone through it and want to inspire others. So those are my two partners who I really want to grow to, because I was the person stuck in the tunnel and now being at the end, you know, so it's an interesting dynamic, I think.
Yeah, but there's similarities with both, right? So
Yeah.
somebody who's gone through that can understand the struggle, right? And there's no reason why, just because they're on the other side, that they shouldn't keep improving, right?
Oh, please. Heck
You
yeah.
know?
Okay, enough about me. Have a fabulous morning. Good, go ahead.
I love you, Stacy. You're awesome. Anyone else want to share anything? Any wins or any challenges? Anything going on?
I'll share.
Oh, okay.
So I've had some moments of clarity. I'm working on my website, and I know I've been in touch with you, Kelly and Jamie. So it's I think I have a much better idea in terms of my brand and what I'm trying to do. And just like you, Stacy, you know, I do have a very similar target audience, and I'm really trying to sort of nail that. And the message that I'm sending out through social media, it's interesting because I'm trying to sort of, you know, show different aspects of me and my life. And at some point, I feel like it's too much all over the place. But at the same time, I feel like it's very multidimensional. So I don't know. It seems like it's actually working well. I feel like people resonate with different things, different days as well. So it's a bit of a gamble, but I don't know. I guess I'm testing it out.
I think you've been doing a great job. I loved the post that you did about your workout thing that you had posted. I thought that was brilliant. One thing that I like to do in terms of when I'm thinking about like the dimensions, don't do like 20 different dimensions of yourself, right?
Right. I need to narrow it more.
Yeah, narrow it to like 3 or 5 or even 7 and kind of stick with those for a quarter, right? Or 30 days or 60 days, and then kind of switch them up, right? Because then you can also switch up the hashtags that relate to that, right? So you can attract more different people.
Right. And I also found this virtual assistant. A friend of mine sort of introduced me, really sweet girl. She's a student, and she has some free time, and you know, she's charging pretty nominal fees. And so she's coming over today in the afternoon, and guess what she'll be doing for me? She's doing a whole bunch of hashtag research and helping me with my Pinterest and LinkedIn. I feel like I need to have one sort of overall signature brand, you know, just having all these things that take a lot of time, but you know, something that I could probably delegate, and for me to go and actually do the content, sort of the, you know, the looks of it. So I'm asking her to go and do some research for hashtags and some other things. Although I feel like, you know, at the same time, I still need to be involved in it because essentially it comes from me. But, you know, at least she can help me with some, you know.
Yeah, Kathy, I don't know if everybody saw it in the group, but I posted the Dropbox link to that Sue B. Zimmerman hashtag.
Oh, okay. Is it in the Dropbox? I don't have.
I posted it a link in the group. I'll tag you in it so you see it.
Okay.
It's just a link to a book in my Dropbox.
Okay.
That you download.
Okay, perfect.
I think she's got yoga in there. And some fitness stuff and some health stuff. So there's some really great hashtags in there that are well researched. So you might want to check in those hashtag hubs to see if they're good fits for you.
Okay. So yeah, that's for me. I have a deadline, end of March, for my website to be out. It was supposed to be a little bit earlier, but I decided to stick with the original plan. I feel like getting that first look. I've waited so long. You know, another couple of weeks.
Yeah, and don't worry too much about that, because I'll tell you, and I think I've said this before, like, it doesn't have to be perfect.
Right.
And it's likely going to change at some point, because Jamie and I were talking about this week. My website, who I was, and it's very obvious, right? I have kind of the corporate woman kind of walking in, and that was the idea. You know, she's kind of walking away from corporate, right? That's what I wanted to project. Is very different than kind of who I am. Not so much who I am now. I'm still the same person, but I'm a lot more, I think, relaxed in the entrepreneurial kind of role, and and I want my website to be not as polished and maybe a little more kind of gritty and real, and so I'm actually going through a whole change on my website. So it can change, so don't worry,
But that's the beauty of building a brand ecosystem. It should change and evolve as you change and evolve in your business.
It is. And I think the other conversation was, having some bold statements in terms of what you do. I was sort of, debating if that would be a smart thing to do or not. But I decided after consulting with you guys that it was actually probably a good idea because, ultimately I'm trying to get the people that are serious about what they want to do. So a little bit of yeah. So yeah, that was for me. Thank you.
You're welcome. Anyone else? Okay, great. So I'll ask, does anybody have a lead magnet now that they use? Has anyone created a lead magnet already for their business? Colleen does. Colleen has basically a planner. So her target market is the busy mom, right? Who's trying to make healthy fun. That's her brand. And so what we did is we've actually created a couple of lead magnets, I think, for you over the, but this one really felt right. And it's actually, I can show everyone. I should have thought of that before.
I just right now, quickly sent it to the one-on-one client I started with this week. I mean, granted, I want people to sign up for my mailing list, but it's also a great tool. I was thinking yesterday when we were doing the Canva stuff, I need to promote this more. If we're going to go to the time of working on it and putting it together, I need to use it. So.
Right. Exactly. And so what I'm going to send out this week after we go through this, we're going to, the workbook was to kind of get you thinking about what your target client, what might resonate with them, what would be a good lead magnet. And it doesn't have to be an ebook or a planner or a PDF, right? Because sometimes, honestly, look, I use a lot of them, right? But think about how many do you sign up for, right? How many PDFs end up in people's download box and then they don't pay any attention to them? You could still do that, but it's got to be somewhat unique and stand out a little bit. But there's other things you can do for lead magnets. So, for instance, I had a lead magnet that was a 4-day mini course, and it's video and workbooks. And so people would sign, and it was a 4-day mini course on how to grow your business. And that was a great lead magnet. So there's a lot of different things you can do. You can do videos, you can do audio. I'm trying to think of another cool one you could do. But it's basically, like I said, the goal is either to grow your list and you want somebody to download it in exchange for an email, or it could be something that you're using through the buyer journey. So it could be maybe you already have your list and your email list, and you want to give them another piece of content that's going to help them along the buying cycle.
Well,
right?
Here's the other thing. You can have multiple lists, right? So for say someone like Kenna, right? She has I think she has a fairly large list already, right? If I'm not mistaken, if I remember. No, I thought you did.
No, I don't have a list.
Okay, never mind then. Well, let's stick with the example, right? So if she did have a list, she might do something like, 5 tips for streamlining your social media for somebody that she already has a list for, right? Versus somebody that's new to her system, right? Or new to her ecosystem. She might do something like the 10 things you need to know when you're doing a launch, because Kenna does lots of product launches or, webinar launches or whatever for folks. So I think having that, don't get stuck. You can have multiple lists but I don't know that anybody who here has a list of 1,000 or more.
You do, Stacy? That's awesome. So
Well, I have, for the past 4 years, I've continued my list for Isogenics. And so I think it's at like 800 and something.
So that's pretty good. Yeah.
that's
Okay.
really good. So to Jamie's point, you can have multiple lead magnets as well with different purposes, right? Based on where the buyer is in their journey, right? And then you can, and I don't want to get too much into this, but then when you start, because we'll talk about sales funnels another time, but then you're kind of meeting them where they are, right? So you could have a list of 10 people that they have a lead magnet that was really about just kind of building the awareness, like top tips or things, something like that. And then they'll go down a specific email campaign, right? So they might have 4 or 5 emails, right, taking them down one path. You might have another lead magnet that's, okay, now how do you grow your business? How do you take it to the next level, right? So that might not, like for me, you know, I might have something like that. I might have a lead magnet that's for how to launch your business, right? And then I might have a lead magnet that's for how to grow your business. And the people that download that are going to be somewhere else in their journey, right? And so they can go down different kind of email campaign paths, if you will, you know, to Jamie's point. And I'm big on, I create a lot of content, which sounds like when I first met Jamie, she was like, you create like a ton of content, but it's, you know, but now we're finding a lot of the stuff. I had somebody that reached out to me for an audio that I created that they found on SoundCloud, right? And it was like, I'd done it like a year ago, right? So I don't think you can ever have too much content. I'm going to show you real quick the lead magnet for Colleen, right? Let me make it a little bigger. Right, so this is her planner. You know, very simple. You know, she has them writing down kind of their commitment for the year, and it's all around kind of her, you know, pillars for her, what her business stands for: health, relationships, family, right? And then it takes them through each month, right? What, you know, specific actions they want to take. And then she includes her making healthy fun tip, right? So she has, like, you know, the things that she does when she goes on live TV, the things that she shows, right? These are the things that are really interesting to her audience. These are the things that they want. So the one thing that, and we talked about, and then she has, you know, 3-month check-ins, right? Kind of a workbook. So it's a planner and a workbook.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
It's really cool.
Love it.
Thank you.
It's really nice. It's on brand.
Are these all your pictures, Colleen?
Are they all my, what did you say?
Are they all your pictures, or did you use some?
No, Kelly is the awesome image person there. So yeah, I think a lot come from blogettes in the beginning, Kelly?
You know what? It's a mixture. Some are from
the mixture.
Blogette.
Okay.
Some are from, I'll get the images from Stocksy or.
What I love with Kelly's, with your vision, is really when we first met one-on-one, gosh, a year ago was when I started working with you. It was just the brand colors and really thinking about being on brand and connecting it. And that those colors to me really scream healthy, or not scream. Scream is kind of a little over the topic word, but you know, that they say healthy and fun.
Right. And so one of the things we talked about now with Colleen, and what the workbook will be for this week, is thinking about how do you promote and share your lead magnet, right? How do you drive people to your lead magnet? And it's basically a plan, right? It's almost like a marketing and sales plan for your lead magnet. And one of the things we talked about with Colleen was, you know, pushing people from her social media to her making healthy fun, and maybe even say, you know, having, you know, March, you know, here's our March making healthy fun tip, and maybe has the tip and then drives people then to the planner to get more, right? So those are some ideas that we were thinking about. Does anybody have an idea for their lead magnet? I mean, is everybody going to work on their lead magnet today, or what piece of content are you thinking about working on? You're going to be working on your social media, on your ebook, on your blogs. Go ahead, Jennifer.
So I was kind of alluding to this earlier, but I didn't ask specifically. So I'm really behind on our assignments that we've talked through. I think the last thing I worked on was the intro, but I didn't finish. And so I don't know what I should work on. This is where the overwhelm might creep in. It's like all this awesome stuff we've been learning. And I'm here every Thursday morning. I want to be on the calls, even though I'm not going to do that part right now. What should I start with? Should I go back to my intro and just finish the intro? That's where I'm not sure. When I answer your question, I'm not sure if I should do the lead magnet today or if I should go back and kind of catch up. I mean, I'm assuming there's a method to your madness and why you rolled out one, then the other, then the other, then the other.
Yeah, there is. But I think, what do you think, Jamie?
I would say work on the lead magnet. Don't worry about the social media introduction. That's something easy that you could always go back to later on. You know, and that's not going to ever hold you up from moving forward. Not having a lead magnet may at some point hold you up.
And even if today you think about what your lead magnet is, right? Okay. If you haven't thought about that, you know, that's something you can brainstorm today. Another thing, if you know, I love ebooks, right? And I can churn out an ebook, you know. One of the tricks I used to use in corporate was that I would pull together blogs. So that's an easy way. So if you write a lot of blogs, and that's why I like writing blogs, is you can pull together blogs that are similar in content and create they basically become chapters.
Yeah, so I'll make it even easier than a blog. One thing that I've done with my clients is done like, Stacy, I did this with Elaine. So we did a 90 days to creating healthy habits. And every day on social media, we posted a different healthy habit. And then after 90 days, we had 90 days worth of content that we just copied and pasted into a workbook. And then there's your lead magnet.
That sounds easier than writing a lot. I'm not a big writer. Like I would take me like a week, while Kelly could probably do it in an hour. I don't have the time to sit down and do this big thing. Snippets I could do.
Yeah, so for you, I would almost say plan out something like that. And it doesn't have to be 90 days. Like,
sure.
It could be 30, right? It could be 15, right? But putting it into manageable chunks for some people works a lot better than saying.
That might be better for me in my life.
Sit down and write an ebook or whatever, if that makes sense.
Right. Just think about who your target client is and what their pain points are. You know, and if you want to start off the content session with the workbook and kind of going through those questions, right, to help you kind of think about what your lead magnet should be, but you want it to answer some pain point. What is going to be compelling enough that they're going to want to download it, right? They're going to want access to it. Go ahead, James.
Yeah, I was just going to say, does everybody have an idea of what they want to do for their lead magnet or digital download or opt-in or whatever you want to call it?
I was thinking, just one more thought on this topic before I move on is remember we were talking about my quick win and doing the course for the single moms. I wonder if my lead magnet do you have a twofer? Like I'm thinking through that course, but I also could make a lead magnet about it.
Exactly. So
content. So I'm thinking once about two different things.
Yeah, no. So they're absolutely connected. Think about what's the ultimate action that you're going to want them to take, right? And so if the ultimate action is a course that you're creating, you want to strip it back, right? And think about, take the content, strip it back, give them, you know, something to kind of entice them a little bit, because then you're also going to know that they're interested in the content enough that they're eventually going to buy. If it's a one-on-one, you want it to be something that is going to give them a little bit of an experience of what it would be like to kind of work with you, right? Okay. So think about what their pain point is, what keeps them up at night, what's something like I download a lot of stuff. But it's usually something, it's got to be something really good, right? It's got to be something that, I mean, sometimes I do it just for the curiosity to see what other people are creating, and how they create it. But for the most part, I've always I love I love lead magnets. I love being able to go out and kind of get people's different opinions on how they do things. And it does give you an idea of how you might potentially work. And I'm a big believer too, and I think Jamie is as well, is give them your best stuff, right? That's why I did that 4-day mini course. I mean, that's something most people would charge for, because I can tell you there's a couple of really big coaches that I've downloaded their stuff and it's crap. And it's, why would, if you're not showing me that you know enough and you're not giving me enough, I'm not going to go any further with you, I'm not going to go past this, but it is a good way then, if then they're nurturing me through their emails and the content gets better, okay, fine. But typically I'm at that point, I'm kind of turned off.
So Kelly, do we want to just go round robin and brainstorm with everybody and then get into the...
You want to do that? We can do that right now, or do you want to do that in Zoom rooms?
I think we do it as a group, because I think...
As a group?
Yeah, I think having everyone here and kind of giving a little bit of input, if we want to spend 3 minutes... Yeah, so we can give 3 to 4 minutes to kind of the people on the call, because everybody's not here today. Good. I think that would be good if everybody feels comfortable doing that. And if you want to come to the table and say, here's what I think I should do, and then let's as a group kind of brainstorm through that. And then if we can wrap up in the next 20 to 25 minutes, and then we can break to Zoom rooms to kind of get content actually started.
And if you aren't comfortable, just say, you know what, I'd rather do a private Zoom room. That's totally fine.
Or if you don't have an idea, let's leverage the group, right? So
yeah, I agree.
There's a diverse group of people here. So somebody, I'm sure we can find somebody.
It might be your ideal client.
Correct. Yep.
So
who wants to go first?
You get to get a focus. You have a focus group.
First.
Go ahead, Kat.
So I was thinking of having a chapter of my book as a free download, something that's relevant as to where I want to get most of the clients in. I have this chapter that's sort of a summary of lessons learned in life that covers a lot of different aspects. And I do have a recipe, so I'm sort of debating between the two, whichever one would be, or I could, I guess, change it around. Like for a period of time, I could have one section and then change it and say, okay, now you get to download this chapter. So that was my thought.
Yeah, you can have, and like you said, you can have multiple lead magnets, right? It's good to have multiple lead magnets going and see which ones are working, right? And sometimes if ones aren't working, it can be a simple tweak, right? To make it.
I mean, one thing I've definitely seen is the not too long and a lot of visuals. That's definitely what people seem to be opting for most of the time. So I'll just have to keep that in mind.
Yeah, people want something very simple. And it's all about how your ideal client likes to get information, right? Will they read an ebook? Will they read an infographic? I hate infographics, but I talked about that yesterday. But some people, think infographics are really compelling. I personally, I don't even know how to read an infographic. I don't know why.
Right.
Visually, it doesn't work for me. But, some people are audio. They might like audio, right?
Or video, as Jamie was saying. Maybe have a bit of an exercise and say, for more, download.
Exactly. Well, and I wonder for you, Kathy, right? So is the book for your ideal client?
It's broader. It's definitely more broad.
So what I would do is I would take those lessons and either take one of the, have the lessons be part of it. But I might, for you, since you're so charismatic and you're always so together and you have no, you are.
Thanks for the boost.
It's a compliment. But I might do a short little video, right? That goes alongside those lessons that's tailored to your ideal client, so that that message is still on point with who your ideal client is. And then the lessons, part of the book can be more generic, or you could make it visual. Like Kelly uses Novio, and then she creates a slide with audio over it. So for you might want to do that with the lessons, right? So they're more visual than just reading a chapter of a book.
Novio is only audio or video as well?
It's
video. So you can have side by side. The nice thing about it, because it's all in how people learn, right? And it's I was talking about this yesterday. If you have a course and you just do PowerPoint, it's not like when you're speaking in front of a big room and you can kind of keep people engaged. When it's online and you're just using PowerPoint, it gets kind of boring. So with Novio, you can have, it's actually side by side where you can have video and, a PowerPoint or a slide, whatever, right? So you can do either or. Some of mine are all video. So
yeah, but not you on video. It's content on video.
Okay. No, okay.
Right.
So the camera is not on.
Well, no, you do. It's you on video as well.
Oh, okay. Cool.
Yeah, it's you on video as well. And I think Jamie's right. Like I would almost have, because you do present so well on video, and I think that it would really draw people in, and maybe you talk about the lesson. Like, so think about when we think about the funnel, right? They get the video and maybe you're talking about the lessons, and then that you can say, now download, this free chapter maybe, and you could maybe send
bring them together with a little bit of video, a little bit of content to sort of have them more engaged.
Yeah,
right.
so it's more cohesive too, right? You're not just taking a chapter out of your book and saying
Gotcha.
download this, because
you're not kind of talking about it, right?
Yeah, and here's the other thing, like, you are an author, but being an author isn't your primary business, right? That's part of your business that drives your sales cycle, right? So I wouldn't, if you're an author, lead with the chapter, right? If you're an author and speaker and that's all you do, I think that's fine. But you're so much more than that. So I want to see that in that lead magnet, right? And maybe even, the summary is step 1, and then it's a series of emails, like 10 days of lessons. Maybe they're even divided out, right? So it's 1 a day for 10 days, right?
Gotcha.
I don't know, just a thought.
Right, exactly. And it's ultimately like, what do you want them to ultimately do? Purchase the book or sign up for a program?
Programs. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's where I need to get them.
Yeah. So I would think about what's the program look like? And then, so I'll say this, what's the program look like? And then kind of strip it down, right? But you can just have the video and talking about the book, and then you can start nurturing them, right? With email campaigns to wherever, like if you don't even have your program yet, that's fine. It's totally fine. You're building the list and you can be sending them blogs or, whatever, and then introduce, your course or your program.
Could I say something? I think I'm one of your ideal clients. I'm just going to put myself out there. So, I believe that I would definitely be interested in whatever you're doing, Kathy. And so I would see because I see the stuff you do is like, I love is when people who have books lately have done like instead of a deep dive, but they do like a get your toes wet kind of thing. And it's a little piece of your book. And then it's a few tips into how, and we get started. And you know this already, but I buy into that right away.
Like a little trailer, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like a trailer of your book, but then you can say, taking from this portion of my book, I want to give some, get into it with you, because then people are like, oh my gosh, I want more, right?
Right.
So like Jen Sincero, or however the heck you spell her name, I love her. She does something where it's the Daily Ohm, and she has something where it's $25. It's a couple days and you're getting just a little bit of it. And now I'm like, oh my gosh, I want her to be my life coach, So I'm waiting for the next thing that she's going to do. So I would just like sprinkle. Amanda Tress is somebody who's in the industry. I'm sure Kelly and Jamie might know her. She does it all the time. She has a Facebook group for a faster way to fat loss, but then she also is a marketing person. So she'll be like, so if you're doing it on this and you want to do this, and she'll be like, give you like 5 things. And then all of a sudden you're like there, and she's like, and we're going to have more programs in a little bit. And you just keep wanting more.
Right. Thank you.
No, I think that's exciting. Anyone else?
I'll go. Well, Kelly and Jamie already know because we've been talking about it. But I am going to be rolling out a quiz that a social quiz that you would find on Facebook, for instance, where it's directed
towards entrepreneurs who are trying to create a better home office for themselves that really speaks to their brand and who they are. So the quiz will, be like a 15-question quiz where it basically will help them identify what their style is. And it'll have like some images, and it'll have, questions that are, what's your typical Saturday look like? Where do you like to shop? Are you a coffee person, or do you like a vodka drink? Like things like that. So it's not just all about like home style. It's kind of like digging deeper into just like what type of person you are. And yeah, I'm really excited about it, and I'm hopeful that it'll drive people in.
Yeah, we talked about that, and I'd love it. Jamie's gonna like kick me if I ever recommend quizzes to people again, because we've been like really challenged with trying to figure out how to do it. But once we do, it'll be fantastic.
That's not true. If you have WordPress, it's very easy. There's a $33 plugin, but Candace has Squarespace, so that's the challenge.
Right. So I think, one of the things we talked about is more and more entrepreneurs are doing Facebook Lives. And like, for instance, I've got a gray, like I would like it to be more branded, right? I would like my office, to walk into my office and it feel branded. So I could go in here and do video calls at any point and it looks like my brand, right? And so that was one of the things we talked about. And I love it. I think it's an awesome idea.
Kathy was going to say something, I think. I saw her.
Oh no, I was kind of looking around and I was like, oh yeah, the office, the branding, I gotta do something about it. Sorry. I need your help, Candace.
I know. I was like, sign me up.
Although yours looks good, Stacy. You've got
this is my dining room. I'm on my dining room table because I have construction. I'm building an office. I will totally be your focus group.
Cool.
Do whatever you need. I have a whole basement for you, Candace.
Cool. I'm in.
Well, it's like Colleen's a good example.
Firstborn, whatever you want.
Colleen's house is a big mess. She's a good example. Candace knows. We started down that path. It's brand. I don't know.
Candace, the other thing too, I was thinking for you, it might even just be worthwhile to like set up a page on a WordPress site and just do the $33 plugin.
So how would it?
I can talk to you from a technical perspective offline how to do that, but that's the only solution that I've come to for the Squarespace stuff from a technical.
What about like lead pages?
So Lead Pages is it's cheaper for her to just buy one of those quiz softwares than it is to sign up for Lead Pages. But for less than $100, she could probably get a WordPress set up with just that quiz.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
It's cool. And then you'll have it forever.
Cool. Right. That works. Another idea that I was just thinking about while we were talking a few minutes ago was as like a different concept for a lead magnet would be to like I could direct it towards people who are trying to revamp the home office or people who are just trying to revamp, say, like a family room.
Great idea. You could have two different sales pages too for it.
Yeah, it could be like I would show like an inspiration board which shows the like concept of a room in terms of like this style chair goes with this style sofa and coffee table and stuff like that. And then it could also include like a shopping list. Now it would be helpful, but like obviously it might not match with the dimensions of your space, but it at least would give like an idea or like a jumping off point.
I have an idea for you. Mm-hmm. And it's a passive income idea. So make the quiz for a living room. You could do this for every room in the house, but start with a living room or like a family room. Mm-hmm. And then you get your quiz output, right? And then for $9.99, you can buy the shopping list that goes along with it.
That's a good idea, yeah. Okay. Cool. I like it.
And you can do that for every room in the house, and that gives you probably like bathroom, living room, dining room. You could probably get 10 products out of that.
Yeah.
Right. You know, I could like do the board so that they're like if you like traditional design, or if you're more of like a mid-century modern, like
Yeah, and here are like the 15 essential pieces you need to make a living room mid-century modern.
Yep.
Love that.
And that way you're multi-purposing that quiz too. So the $100, you're getting more use out of it.
Yep.
Yeah, right.
Totally.
I think it shows your range too, you know, shows that you're listening to people versus just throwing out your style, that you're kind of, you understand that your space is, being an entrepreneur and working from home also, you know that space can affect people. And in order to, I think you could even do something like this in a live, is how, if you feel this way, is that, you know, space really can affect somebody and the production of work. And so when you're working from home, you want that space to speak to you and your brand. That it's important that when you step in there, you're ready to be, you know, doing the do. So how do you create that space?
Totally. Thanks, Stacey.
I love that, doing the do.
I'll go next if anyone isn't ready. I have no idea. Colleen just laughs at me. I love it.
I love you.
I love you. Okay, so literally my brain is that egg on crack right now. So this is my mom, and I'm gonna blame her for another 42 years. So I am literally stuck. I am so stuck. I feel like if I put another freaking quote on my Mind Shift Mama thing, I'm gonna puke. So seriously, like, I'm used to doing live videos. I got a lot to say, but I never go on there. And so Kelly's like, sure, that's a lot to say. No, but I'm just kidding. I have a lot to say, but I can't seem to figure out what I want to give, what I want to do. What, you know, I'm working with my life coach, obviously, and we're, you know, the art of becoming a coach and stuff like that for myself, doing a membership site, you know, you're helping me with that too. I mean, right now I'm just building a following and people connecting with people, inspiring. It's kind of how I'm going for a little bit till I get some clear space, you know, here. So I'm wondering, do you guys have any ideas of how to amp it up a little bit?
I think you just record what you're saying and just post it. I mean, people love it.
Yeah.
I mean, I put in here, I want Stacey to have her own
rant, but like just whatever is on your mind. It's amazing.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like when I go off on my rants, people are like,
I'm sorry, I didn't mean it that way.
No, please, I don't take offense to anything, and I love that. I rant. Please, I'm a Jewish New Yorker. I rant. So, well, I'm not. My mother is. But anyways, oh my God, someone bring sage in or whatever you do to get the voodoo out. So,
But right there, that's an awesome thing that you could use. Your problem is you're too close to it. I love you, but you're too close to it.
No.
You're so good when you just go. You're overthinking it. You're way overthinking of it. I know how awesome you are. There's no difference between your personal Facebook Lives and your Mind Shift.
There's nothing different.
There's
Genetics and personal.
It doesn't need to be, though. So just do them on your business page and then share them to your personal page. Stop overthinking it. I love you, but I'm going to push you on that.
Do it.
And keep the same outfit, like the Flash Girl sort of. Awesome.
I love it. I put on here, I want Stacey to have her own show, and Candace said I would watch it on repeat.
My friend wants me to go in my car and just go off like the two moms, but just be like Stacey doing it. Because I'm just can I make y'all laugh real quick? So my friend, I'm not cool, remain nameless, is in the midst of a divorce. But it's a happy divorce. And they have a trip scheduled, right? And she's like, oh my God, what do I do? I'm supposed to go on this all-inclusive trip and whatever with this work. I said, that's called having your cake and eating it too, honey. And she's like, drop the mic, you know? Like, because they're going together, they're having fun. And she's like, you are so bold. She's like, you have to get this out there. You say the most inappropriate, but yet true things. I'm like, I shouldn't say that, but I will.
Can you do a truth bomb?
No, I think she should. Personally, when I watch like people on social media channels and they are like live or whatever, like that type of aura, that's what sucks me in. And I'm like, I want to watch more of this person because they're just so real. So I would.
So
I would do I try and get yourself into a schedule because I know you work better like that. You totally do, but like try and think of different things for each day of the week that you could do if you wanted to go live each day. But like do Truth Bomb Tuesday, and you could do like something super fun on Truth Bomb Tuesday. The only thing you're gonna have to do is to like jot a note because you're so spontaneous. You're gonna have to like note yourself. You can download Evernote and just like kind of audio the note. But then when Tuesday comes around, you got to go and do that. Do you know what I mean?
yeah.
I mean, you could have winning today, right? And it could be either be something positive or it could be something fun, right? Like hashtag winning. Like I didn't win. Like, you know what I mean?
Totally. Well, yeah, my hashtags, my friends, I do as a joke. Some of them are real, and then some of them are like, dog just pooped on the floor, because it's kind of funny. I'm like, that's just me. That's my humor. Like, no one's going to search that, but come on. Like, people hashtag to get people look. I'm like, hashtag, you know, what is my husband wearing today? What is that? You know?
So Jamie, are you thinking, I'm almost thinking, should it be Facebook Lives, or should it be something where they almost have to sign up for the Stacy channel, right? Like, do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you could.
No, I'm kidding.
No, you could be a really good, like, I don't hate me for saying this. You might hate me. But you could be like does anybody here watch I'm Mom So Hard?
Yeah.
Okay. So you could be somebody like them where you got to get the email or the sign up for the YouTube to stay tuned, right? Because like I'm Mom So Hard, they don't do it this way, but you could do it so that anybody that signs up for your email list gets your videos first, and then they get released on Facebook the next day.
I want to make sure, though, that I'm not, because the whole mind shift is inspiring, empowering, that I'm not looking like hot mess dragging on the floor, because does that make sense? Like, I feel like sometimes people are like, you know, they think there's somebody in my industry that is called Hot Mess, and she's fabulous, but like, she's constantly, excuse me, bitching and all this stuff, and I'm like, ew, you know, so I try to make sure that the line isn't.
Well, is your brand feeling like who you really are then?
I feel like it is. I feel like my brand is.
You're not always perfectly done up, though. And I think that's okay.
What are you trying to say? Totally.
I think that's okay, though, right? Like lives are meant to be, like, just like the dog going off, right? That's meant to be part of doing a live, right? Like you did, I think it's you that did a live in the car, and that was like genius. Like totally keep doing that, right? It doesn't, they're meant to be spontaneous, right? It's okay if you plan them from time to time, but Kelly and I talk about this all the time. Too many people like sit in their office and they like, I'm going to jump on live, and it's all premeditated, and that's not how those are supposed to be. They're supposed to be spontaneous, right? Even if they are planned.
Right.
I feel like when I watch one that like appears to be planned, I'm like, what am I even watching? Like what are they even talking about? I don't know. And then I X out of it. So that's just for me, but
no, I think that's everybody, because Facebook Lives were originally, I mean, the intent was to show kind of behind the scenes of for brands, and what so many, and I will say coaches are doing is they're using it to like teach and preach, and it's just, like,
it's too much.
It's just too much. It's, you know, so I could, you know, you should, you know, Stacey, I could even see you having, like, I would do some interviews with people, like bring people on, because now you're also tap into their list where it is almost
people
like
side by side. I've seen people do side by side. I love it. So if anyone here wants to and build their brand, I'd plan it with you. Anyone, raise your hand. We'll
all do it.
Let's do it. Done.
You know, you could have multiple, you know, just shoot the shit, whatever the topic is, and then
Shapiro for sure.
Yeah.
Granted, my name is Friedman now, but that's okay.
I think it would be great because then then you tap into their audience as well, right?
Ooh. And you guys, and we could interview each other. You guys can interview me.
That's a good idea. I like
Oh
it.
my God, I'm sorry. I had a lot of Ayurvedic herbs today and adaptogens. I'm a little.
Did you say iron and vinegar?
No, I'm cleansing. It's all good.
Oh,
Fabulous. Thank you. I have no idea where to start. Let's just try this.
we owe you a call.
We owe you a call anyway,
Yeah.
so we can talk about the technical aspect to do that.
Yeah.
All right.
Putting those pieces in place.
Who's next?
And back up, what I would work on today, Stacy, might even be some of the topics, right? Okay. Who's
Yeah,
next?
you have that content, access to that content calendar still, right? Okay.
Who is
I'll
next?
go.
Okay.
I can go if nobody's ready. So, what Stacy started talking about, I have no idea. I'm stuck. I'm the same way. I have my, I did brainstorming about topics I could talk about in a program. And I have topics all over the place: coaching, detox, financial stuff, food prep, nutrition, parenting. I have all this stuff. I don't know where to start.
I think it's ultimately, I would start with what action do you want them to ultimately take?
So I have to go there first.
I would start from what do you want them to, to do one-on-one coaching with you? Do you want them to
I don't think I want to do one-on-one coaching because I think it takes too much time. I don't have the time to offer. So I think I want to do something group.
Yep.
A group thing, or one of the things where I just push, like what Barbara's doing, the 30-day or 3-week or 4-week audio video thing, the workbook thing.
So I think you have to really think about what's keeping your client up at night? Like what are her pain points? Right?
Mm-hmm.
Because you could, and maybe it's all of those dimensions of wellness that you're talking about, right? And you give them a piece of all of it versus, I mean, me, I always say the financial stuff. I always think that's because that inside and out, right? And I think it's awesome, and I think it's pretty, especially right now. I think it's so relevant, right? But you could have something that's about, all of those areas, right? That you could give them a little bit of knowledge in each one. And it's just how do they, how does your client like to have the information, right? Would it be a good ebook? Would it be a good video? Would it be just audio, right?
I know that I want snippets. I don't want to do an ebook for reasons. I mean, a lot of people say that's just too much to absorb at once. I want to do small pieces.
I think for you, it's bite-sized, right? Bite-sized pieces. And I would almost just make it email, to be honest. I would almost do just email because you can have that fully created, right? And it's just evergreen. It's just on repeat, right? You never have to kind of touch it again. But you just have to think about what are those topics. So if you can lay out what each of the topics are and then and it doesn't have to be a long email either. It can just be like, I'm just going to give you bite-sized information. And whether
the lead magnet could be, I'm just thinking out loud. The lead magnet could be 10 days to financial wellness or 10 days to wellness. And then I could have 10 topics, like financial could be one, nutrition can be one, play could be another, whatever. I can do, I won't seem so out of control, 10 different topics. Oh my God, all these, I think about all these different things. I want it to look like it's cohesive and it makes sense to be together. But right now, I can go in all these different directions.
Yeah, well, I mean, look, it's ultimately, what do you, when you would coach somebody, right? Or however or your course, you want to, if it's going to be a course, think about what that course is and then almost kind of pare it back a little bit, right? Because if you ultimately want them to take a course, I would think about, what is my course about? What is, what is what do I want my students to walk away with? Right.
Mhm.
And then kind of pare that back to them almost like an introduction to it. And so it could be, 10 days to total wellness, right? Or whatever, we can come up with like a better name, but where it would focus on, financial and health and.
What about 10 days to like getting back on track, right? Because 10 days to total wellness is not realistic, right? But 10 days to getting back on track, right? It is, or something to that extent, right? That might not be the right language, but it's like starting on, like getting back on the right journey.
Does it have to be a daily thing? Because I'm thinking the moms that I talked to before, every day is too much, maybe every week. But I don't want to do it 10 weeks. That's too long.
It can be whatever you want. You could have a topic per week.
That would be a lead magnet if I did it that way.
You could, but I think you might, as a lead magnet, that could lose interest. Yes. So that's good for a course, right?
Yes.
But for a lead magnet, you almost want it to be kind of almost like that. In my opinion, somebody might feel differently. You almost want it to be that rapid fire, right?
Okay.
That you keep in front of mind, where it's like, because they're not really invested in it, but it's just they're getting these tips every day.
I love what Stacy said in the chat.
Oh,
so, like, what if you do 2-day quick start, like how to get quickly started, right? How to quickly, like, and Kelly, can I use you as an example?
Yep.
Kelly said yesterday, we were talking with a client, she's like, I start a new diet every Monday.
I said it earlier today too.
So that's something, right? Like, think about the mindset of that, like how to get on track and stay on track, whether that's financial, health, wellness, whatever it might be, right? Like, we all have.
Yeah, because we don't have, as a mom, I don't have time to waste for 10 days to get on track. I need a quick restart. Give me a quick restart. Give me a quick, like, stop what you're doing and start right here.
So 5 things you can do today to get back on track. That's your lead magnet.
That helped. That gets me. It's like, oh, I can try this right now. Like, I want it right now.
Jennifer, what I see, if that's okay, if I don't want to do anyone's
stuff. You're good.
So what I'm hearing from you is you are like, it's got to be kind of a rip off the Band-Aid, let's go right now. There's no time. There's a lot of balls in the air. Let's get this going and move on. So that sounds to me, if you create that language, those are the people who are going to come to you versus the ones that are going to take up a lot of your time, because it sounds like you're going to be you don't have to be so many steps ahead of them, as Jamie always tells me, is just be like a day ahead of them, a week ahead of them, right? So that's the thing, is you are always saying, I didn't have time. So you're going to say, wait a minute, I get what this is like. First of all, I'm going to, for 2 days, get my, schneet together. And now you're going to say to others, all right, 2 days, back to basics. And this is the rewind button. Like, it's kind of like, there isn't a rewind button on life, but guess what? You can rewind this. Start back to basics, quick, no time, done.
Yeah, I like that.
And then just take one topic and start with that. And then you'll be like, okay, and now back to basics on this topic, back to basics on this. Yours is all quick, fast. How do you in and out, no time, boom. And then you might all of a sudden say, wow, I can bring this into a 5-day course or like an ebook or something. But it's right now, you've got so many, you take one ball and say, okay, quick, done, back to basics. This is how I rewind.
Yeah, I like that. I like that because it could be a series. It could be a series, and it could actually, whatever I'm doing could go into a course, like we were talking about earlier.
Yeah, because we started building your course, so you kind of have.
I got a whole spreadsheet of topics for a course, but it's overwhelming to think how do I pare this down? And like Stacey was saying, is I honestly don't have time to sit down and write all this stuff. It has to be snippets. This is the way my life is.
So like I said earlier, Jennifer, for you, for a lead magnet, I might just do one a day for 10 days. Here's 5 things that you can, 5 or 10 things over the next, post them on social media, right? Yeah. And I don't know who's your accountability part.
Brittany right now.
But I would have Brittany hold you accountable to do one of those every day for the next 10 days. And then there's your lead magnet, right? So it's just one, 3-sentence thing you have to write every day for the next 10 days.
Okay.
And and commit.
And like Stacey just said, getting yourself out there is all you need to do, right? So it's taking that first step, right?
It's fear, Stacey. It's fear. Because once I start, I can't stop. I feel like I can't stop, and I'm afraid to start because I don't know how I'm going to feel with my health, with my daughter, with my sleep. I don't know. I'm afraid to take that step because I'm afraid I'm going to have to be on and I'm going to fail. I'm going to look terrible.
The beautiful thing though is that nobody knows if you're failing or not, Jennifer, because guess what? No one's ever seen you do this. So they don't know if this is good, better, or best of you. They just know this is you out there. So put yourself out there, and if it helps, maybe if 10 days is too much for you at first, say, okay, 5 days. I'm going to do a 5-day thing. And then I'm going to sit back and see how it feels. You can sit here probably for the next hour and literally write out 5 things.
Right.
3-sentence, 5 days. Send it to someone to proof, to look, to step away from it. Let somebody else tweak it and give you feedback. These experts here, Kelly and Jamie, give you feedback, come back. You go into buffer or however you're going to be, they know, I don't know. You do something and it schedules itself out and you just sit back. And that's when the panic attack happens and you're like, woo, I did it, right? So get out there, plan, even 3 days. I'm sorry, Jamie's like nodding her.
It's possible because Sarah's with her dad for the next 4 days. So
there you go.
Right now is the time when I'm supposed to be productive. And then when she comes back, I'm unproductive.
Done. So you know what you do? You take of those 4, I'm sorry guys, this is what I do in life.
I want Stacey to coach me. I
do my life coaching stuff. Jennifer, carve out in your schedule right now, not even 1 hour, 30 minutes. Does 30 minutes feel overwhelming?
Yeah, I have time to
okay. On the toilet. It doesn't matter. It doesn't. No, seriously, you guys, 30 minutes. We can find 30 minutes. If it's 15 minutes and 15 minutes.
Well, I have that much driving to work. I have an hour a day on the car. So it's.
Okay, then you take the voice memo in your phone and you start talking.
Yeah,
These are the things that I think. Pretend you're talking to somebody and you're saying, you know what? You feel like this, like Kelly says, this is your pain point. Okay, I would start with this, and this. And you just keep going because that voice memo will go forever. And then you come back and you start typing it up, send it to someone, walk away. You have 4 days right now. Day 1, record. Day 2, type. Day 3, send it to someone. Day 4, get it scheduled out. You're done.
Okay. And so that's a lead magnet. Doing that.
You're on mute, Kathy.
Yeah.
Kathy, you're on mute.
I think you can even have a plug-in or there's a feature dictation that, as you're saying it, it will actually type it for you.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You just cut out a day.
Yeah. So
you just took out Thursday.
I mean, sometimes it types the wrong thing, but it's actually really useful.
Beautiful. Yeah. Jennifer, I think what you should do, I'm going to challenge you because I did this for Colleen. She knows this. I do this to people. I would say put it out there a certain day. You're going to have started the ideation, dictating, and getting it to Kelly or Jamie or one of us, whatever, or put it on wherever you want.
Put it in the group. Put it in the group.
And let us love you up and get it out there. It's time.
Okay.
It's time. It doesn't have to be genius.
It's progress, not perfection. I hate that quote, but it's progress, not perfection.
Oh, yes, that's what I say when I was a Montessori teacher. Guys, it's progress. It's process, progress. Never strive for perfection, because if you were, we wouldn't be on here. We'd be doing our hair or something still. So
Our nails.
our nails, right? Look at this. I have cuticle cream. Where's my cuticle cream? Right here, because of my mom. But Jennifer, you got this. We got you.
Does anybody else, so I've been saying, so I got a sidebar for a minute. I've been saying to Stacy for like 6 months now that she needs to start a membership site where she goes live and people pay her for advice. Who here
100%, I would do it.
hang out in her Facebook group? Everyone on the call.
Oh my God, that would be hysterical.
Seriously.
It's called Get Your Undies Out of a Bunch. Let's do this.
Yeah. Let's get your undies out of a bunch and let's
Do it.
My undies are totally in a bunch. They're clean. And they're in a bunch.
When
I want you to start like filing your nails while you're talking.
Yeah.
Sort of.
Yeah, I will have you know. I will have you know. I ended up on TV the day after Super Bowl Sunday with a bunch of teenagers in my house and my husband on call, all because of you, Stacy. Yeah.
I love it.
I mean, I think we all just have to push ourselves to just do it. There's never going to be the right time.
Nope. Okay. Who wants to go next on their opt-in? Kenna, Sam, Colleen.
Well, I'm going to work on using the lead magnet that I already have. But then I was just jotting down some notes about, and Kelly and I started something last year, and then I think I needed Stacy to get my undies in a bunch and get me out there and, whatever. But I think I was just writing some notes about maybe creating something that's where people could purchase for jumping into a healthy summer with your kids. Just looking at the lead magnet that we already have about making healthy fun and planning, but then taking it to a next step. I felt like the article that I wrote about getting your kids to eat the veggies got a lot of good feedback. Like locally, 2 people threw it up on their Facebook page right away. But I feel like I need to work on the social media aspect of the lead magnet first, like just getting out there and doing those Facebook Lives, having Stacy tell me it's okay. I'm just kidding.
Cool.
So yeah, I would work on both. I would work on the content for promoting your lead magnet and getting people, to start downloading it and using it. And I would be sharing it in groups where there's busy moms, right? And especially if there's something in there, right? If you search those groups and you see that somebody is talking about something that you have a tip for, I would answer it. You're not necessarily like self-promoting, but you're answering their pain point and saying, this is something I teach in my planner, hey, I can send it to you or whatever. Is something you could do.
Okay.
But I would work on that content. And then I would also, I would start thinking about, we are going to start talking about course creation at some point. If people do want to create courses, but, I would start thinking about that. We built a lot of stuff out for the summer camp, but maybe you can use some of that for something else that you're doing. So I would think about how you can take that maybe planner and now make it into potentially a course or program.
Yeah. I'm just thinking something inexpensive that I can promote a whole lot, and then get some of that, I guess, passive income coming in.
Cool.
Exactly.
Anybody else?
I just hopped on, so I kind of am behind. I don't really know. I obviously we're talking about lead magnets, but and opt-ins, but I haven't. I have neither.
Right. I think for you, Sam, one of the things we've got to figure out is, and maybe we should do kind of a Zoom room with you, but we've got to kind of figure out, who it is you want to work with, right? What do they want? Because one of the things we originally talked about, and I do think you should still do this, is a recipe book, because you have these beautiful recipes, right? and they're gorgeous. So I think that's kind of an easy lead magnet to have. That's something we could do. And then I would think about who it is you want to work with and what information is she looking for? Does she need?
Okay.
Right?
I think you could probably take pieces of that blog and make it into some sort of worksheet.
Right.
That's part of your opt-in.
Okay. I don't get that, but maybe you can
Well, you
explain
could
it to me better.
we could take your blog and we could turn that into, like, for instance, where you'll see, my workbooks where it's, it could be a question and then, and then they're answering it, right? So you could give them, and I have to go back and look at the blog again, but it could be something that you take pieces of that blog and then put it into like an ebook or a workbook.
Okay. So would I keep the blog as a blog and then do a workbook to, like, kind of in addition, or would I just?
In addition,
okay.
in my opinion.
Okay.
Like, I have a blog that I turned into an audio, right? So you can repurpose your existing content. And that's what I was talking about earlier when I had somebody who heard my audio on SoundCloud. I had a blog that I basically, somebody said I should turn it into a video, but I don't like doing video. So I turned it into an audio. So you can take the existing content you have and repurpose it.
Okay.
Use it several ways, and I'll take a look at that blog again, because we might even be able to break that into maybe even 2 blogs, right?
Okay.
Kelly, that's what I said. I think that should be 2 blogs and they should each have a call to action at the end. But then
Right.
I think you tie a worksheet to each one of
Right.
the, you can tie a worksheet into that. You tie a worksheet into that.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, to work through whatever that issue is that they want to address of letting go.
And actually what we could do is if we're going to, break off now, Sam, we could do your Zoom room first, if you want to work through that with Jamie and I a little bit.
Okay.
Okay. So,
We didn't get to Kenna.
oh, Kenna, I'm sorry.
You're okay. I have a lead magnet, but I would like for you and Jamie to look at it. Like, I even have it on my site, ready to go. But mine is for how to become a VA course. It's not clients. So,
What do you want to focus on?
that's a wide. What do you mean?
What do you want your lead magnets to be focused on?
How to become a VA, the course.
No. Going forward, do you want it to stay tied to the VA course?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm doing fine with getting clients. I just need to launch the program, the course.
Okay. Okay. So if you want to send that to us, we can take a look at it.
We can probably so we'll spend maybe 5 minutes with Sam and then 5 minutes with Kenna. Can we do that?
Sure.
Okay. Do you want to do a quick bio break? 5-minute bio break, and then at 11:30 we'll.
Sure.
Okay. 5-minute bio. We'll be back, and then we'll start doing Zoom rooms. Everybody can start writing.
I have my Velociraptor that's eating on my lap.
Oh my God, I love him.
I can hear him. He's so cute.
So noisy. He does it like all night long. Drives me nuts. Say hi.
So cute. Oh my gosh.
And Kathy, you used to be able to upload photos from wherever. I don't know if they changed it and whenever. You're on mute, Kathy.
I don't think you can anymore.
Kathy, I tried to do that a few times recently, and I learned that the photo or video has to be in your camera roll.
Right. Yeah, it has to be 24 hours. I used to be able to do it, but as of
But now it's not even that.
So what it does is
I know. I just tried to do it. You can't even do it.
No, you can't do it. It's either live or you have to take, I think it's being like totally live. So no existing.
It doesn't look like you can even upload a photo as of today.
No. So anyhow, I was trying to, so you can't, plan. Anyhow.
But you know what you can plan? You can upload, I'm fairly certain you can upload your Instagram stories to Planoly.
Okay.
Let me double check into that.
Is that a different app? Because I don't have it.
So Planoly is like helps you plan your Instagram, like the layout of your Instagram. So it basically gives you like a fake feed where you can kind of like
Gotcha.
lay it out. But they used to be able to upload. It might have changed. I mean, Instagram changes daily. I can't control their updates. But Planoly, you used to be able to upload your story to.
Jamie, what do you recommend I do right now since that I kind of already have content?
I would work on the one for the living rooms, or I would work on, I would probably work on the one for the living rooms and then have those two. Cause then what we can do from a technical perspective, like next week we can meet and we can get you set up from a tech perspective to get that other piece all squared away. And then you'll have at least two, right? And then also work on like the lists. So think about it. You have 10 lists that you need to create, or 5, however many styles you have a list for each one that somebody can buy.
Shopping list, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So or you could do the shopping list for the entrepreneur office one if you wanted to too. You know what
I mean? I feel like so.
I might not do that for that one because you want to sell the service. Right? But.
Yeah, I feel like I'd rather keep like as a separate lead magnet. Do like if you like modern design, here's the mood board, and then for $9.99 purchase the shopping list, and then
so that's what I would work on then.
Okay, cool.
And Instagram did do an update yesterday, just so you know.
Oh.
So it does not appear that you can actually do that anymore.
So it has to be live.
It has to be live now.
I think I actually like it. That way it's not
meditated. Yeah.